Newzroom Africa's politics editor Sbu Ngalwa joins us with more on this. Sbu, I mean, at the onset of that interview, well, at least after people had had an opportunity to hear what the views of the Secretary-General were, it became very clear that there was going to be an incredible fallout because many in the ANC did not take kindly to the fact that he seemed to be dealing with corruption allegations so casually.
I mean, I think it was quite a careless thing for the leader of the ANC to say, where in that interview, actually the comments that got him into trouble was where he said that he would never step aside due to the allegations of corruption against him. Now you can understand that the ANC is an organization that is dealing with serious cases of corruption, including its leaders at all levels, from national, provincial and then lower levels. So if you have such a person of high stature making those comments, then it means that anyone else within the party can just decide to act as they wish if they do not want. And also you must also understand that there is a crucial NEC meeting of the ANC that is coming this weekend, and that is meant to deal with those kind of issues of corruption and corruption allegations. So what I would want us to do now, Kate, to look at that bite where Magashule deals with the issue of corruption allegations against him.
That's how the enemy is planning to finish the ANC. Some of us will never accept such a simple understanding because I'm saying to you, a member of the ANC is entitled to be treated like a citizen. Fairness, the rule of law, the law of natural justice is what you and I expect. You just come tomorrow and say Magashule was involved in this and therefore I must step aside. I will never do that. I will never.
Then why do you have an integrity committee?
I must be treated like all South Africans.
Of course, this issue is going to form a significant part of this NEC meeting, but it also takes place at a time where the battle lines within the ANC have been drawn, and it's clear that there are different interests at play.
Obviously so, because obviously you do know that the NEC meeting of this weekend comes at a time just a week after the ANC, for instance, in KZN has reinstated someone like Zandile Kumede, and it has taken a lot of criticism, and rightfully so. And if you had the president in Parliament this morning, earlier today, he did not want to deal with that when John Steenhuisen raised it. The reality is that the Zandile Kumede issue will be dealt with at this NEC meeting, and we do understand that there's actually even a recommendation that her appointment to the provincial legislature, that it must actually be overturned. So obviously it's going to be subject of a big debate, but also the leaking of the letter from Mashamba to Ace Magashule should not be seen within the context of the infighting, because remember that earlier in the week on Sunday the president sent out a letter warning all ANC members, giving them the marching orders and drawing a line in the sand saying we will not tolerate corruption. 2 days later, Andile Lungisa in Port Elizabeth writes a letter to say, President, you must account for the funding of CR17. If you had and now today you get a letter from the Integrity Commission saying, Ace Magashule, you have to appear before the Integrity Committee, and that's leaked widely. All of that is those are precursors to this weekend's meeting, and that tells you that that special NEC meeting, because it's called to deal with the issues of corruption, will be a heated one.
Is it easy to tell who will win the arguments based on numbers, given the fact that things seem to have shifted and those who were perhaps in so-called Ramaphosa's camp before may have shifted, given the fact that there are other interests at play now?
Look, the political musical chairs shift all the time depending on whatever the interests are at that particular time. But the reality is that the ANC faces a credibility issue, but also an issue where the majority or most of the members of that NEC have been implicated in corruption one way or the other. So personal interests in politics tend to trump the country's interests or political accountability even. So you cannot quite tell. I mean, from the last NEC, it was clear that everyone seemed to agree that there's a serious problem of corruption within the party. But it's the how part, how to deal with it, that becomes the
well, they
contention.
agreed, but subsequently, the actions of their members said they didn't actually pay attention to what they had agreed to in the statement.
Exactly. Now, that's been typical ANC behavior, where they say one thing and do the complete opposite. Remember, after that NEC meeting, they gave a task to their officials, which include President Ramaphosa, to come up with guidelines about how they are going to deal with allegations of corruption. But they already had taken that decision when they formed an integrity committee. So it tells you, commission, so to speak. So it tells you that the ANC actually is not quite ready to deal with issues of corruption. But I think that in that meeting, in fact, that meeting, the outcome of that meeting will actually tell it and confirm it for all and sundry whether President Ramaphosa is in control of the ANC or not.
All right.